Hi, my name is Mayank Shekhar and I run a company manufacturing food packaging machines. Behind me is a system of packaging which has a four-head linear wear coupled with a collar bagger at the back. Now I will talk in detail about this whole packing system, where I will show you what are the different parts of this packing machine and what are their functions and uses. This is the whole collar assembly on which is mounted on the machine. This collar assembly has one collar and two pillars on which it is supported. This whole assembly is mounted with the help of two Allen bolts at the corners, and this whole assembly can be just removed by opening these two bolts and put back very easily. This collar former is responsible for forming the pouch into a tube or a pillow form. As you can see, the laminate comes from the back and then it comes straight down here. This is a nitrogen filling pipe which is attached again inside the collar assembly, and when the nitrogen is required to be filled inside the pouch, this just spurts in the nitrogen at the right minute, and then the sealer seals it to retain the nitrogen in the pouch. This is the vertical sealing assembly, and you can see that the seal and the fin is being formed in the front. So as you will change the collar assembly, the diameter of the pouch of the tube will be different. So this whole assembly has to go back and forth, which can be very easily done with the help of this screw here. You rotate it, will go back and front. There are pneumatic cylinders provided which will do the sealing of the vertical fin. Now these are the belts which are provided for pulling the laminate. They press against the laminate, and the movement of this is controlled by a lever solenoid here, and very easily when you flip it on the other side, this will open and you can change it. These are the sealers in which the sealing is done, and this is the cable of the heater, of the cartridge heater. As you can see, it has got a strain reliever here. This strain reliever helps in maintaining the stiffness and the strength in the cable so that it does not come out. Below the vertical sealing assembly, we have the horizontal sealer assembly. This is driven by two set of cylinders which are located at the back. They are responsible for the movement of the cylinders. These cylinders are all Teflon coated because Teflon gives a non-stick property. So even if there is any overheating, it can be very easily cleaned with a brass brush, and you are good to go. There are two sets of cylinders provided in the front. One is responsible for the perforation and another for the batch cutting. So if you want to make a chain form pouch, let us say you want to do 5 pouches to a strip or 10 pouches to a strip, they can be programmed in the control panel, and the batch cutter will take care of it. To maintain the pressure, there is a flow regulator which has been provided here, and there is a separate flow regulator which is there for these belts, so that the tension is maintained very precisely. This is the control center of the machine. This display and the control is for the weigh filler, which is located on the top, and this is for the bagger. All the parameters relating to the weighing of the product in terms of the weight, the vibration, the delays, the integration with the bagger, all that can be programmed from this display. All the parameters relating to the bagger's function, whether it is the sealing, the temperature, the cutting of the laminate, the coding, nitrogen filling, everything can be controlled from here. These are 3 independent temperature controllers for the vertical sealer and the horizontal sealer, and these are switches which will control the on-off operation, start, stop, and various functions. Now using this control center, you can program any machine parameter of the machine and control everything. This has a manual mode of operation where you can run each and every aspect of the bagger which is relevant in a manual mode, which means independently you can just pull the laminate, you can seal it horizontally, seal it vertically, perforate it, cut it, put the date code, batch code, everything can be checked so that it is easier to set up the whole machine. Now we will go towards the back of the machine and see where the laminate roll is placed, and the other aspects we will explain at the back. Now we have come to the back of the machine. This is the carriage assembly on which the whole unwinding assembly and various other aspects of the internal arrangement are mounted. This is the laminate roll which is located almost at the floor level, which is very easy to remove and mount. There is a check nut provided here. By opening it and tightening it, you can very easily remove the roll and put it back. It is supported by another check nut on the other side, and so it is very easy to center the entire roll on the shaft here. The movement of this is controlled by a separate motor and a gearbox with an independent drive. In some cases, the drive may not be provided depending on the kind of construction of the machine which is there. These are two sensors of the dancing bar assembly. Now if you will see, this whole laminate is kept under tension by a dancing bar, and as you will see, I pull it, it will go up and down. The dancing bar keeps a dead weight on the laminate, which maintains the laminate in tension and thus ensuring that the pouch is formed in a better manner. When the laminate goes up, this motor will start releasing the laminate, and when it comes down, then it will start pulling it up. These are the connectors in which the wave filler is connected to the bagger. By disconnecting these connectors, you can remove the bagger and the machine separately. Now I will take you from the side. We will see it from inside, where there are other components of the machine, to understand what are they and how they are located and what are their functions. From here you can see the internal construction of the machine. This motor and gearbox is responsible for pulling of the laminate on the collar assembly, which I showed you in the front. So there are two motor assemblies, one for unwinding and the other for pulling the laminate, and they work in tandem, which is the logic is controlled by the control center of the machine. Since all the functions of movement are pneumatically controlled, they have to have pneumatic valves, and these valves are located here. This is the valve for connecting the nitrogen gas which will flow into the pouch. Towards the top you can see that there is this camera. Camera is required for sensing the eye mark on the pouch, so that the horizontal sealing comes exactly at the end and the top of the pouch. At the back there in the corner, there is this batch coding unit on which you can have programmable parameters you can print, like date code, MRP and the net weight. They can be all put in there. It is also pneumatically operated, and the logic is decided by the machine. The movement of the carriage left and right is done by the motor assembly, which is provided at the back. Now this can be controlled right from the touch panel, and you can have, if the vertical seal goes out, it can be very easily controlled from there. Now we have come to the top of the machine, and here I will explain you the different parts of the wave filler. This is the hopper of the machine, and since it's a 4-head linear weigher, there are 4 independent openings with an independent shutter to control the amount of material which flows into the tray. The material from the hopper goes into the vibratory tray, and from the vibratory tray it goes into these 4 weighing pans, where it is weighed accurately, and then finally it is discharged. There is one discharge funnel so that the material goes into the same pouch. These vibrators have a coarse mode and a fine mode of operation. So for example, if you are packing 100 grams, the first 80-90% of the material comes with a faster speed, faster flow rate, and then the balance trickles down so that you have a higher accuracy. All these heads are independently going to weigh the material, and when the final weight of each reaches, they will wait for the signal from the bagger to discharge the material into the pouch. It will never happen that 2 heads will discharge the material in the same pouch. It is done sequentially. There is another mode of operation where you can program each head for a different weight. For example, you want to make a blend of something, so you want to have 10 grams of item A, 20 grams of B, 50 grams of C and 100 grams of D. And the hopper will be made in a different construction. It will have 4 partitions, so you will have 4 items, and when 10, 20, 50 and 100 are ready, they will all be discharged into the pouch at the same time. Or we can have also a permutation combination where first A goes, then B goes, then C, then D. So if you have different products going into the same pouch, so one layer of fun, then the second, then the third, then the fourth can also be done in the bagger. This is a configuration of a 4-head system. Similarly, you can have a 1-head or a 2-head or a 4-head. We can also make a system in which there are 8 weighing heads to increase the speed of the whole packing system. Now we will see the machine in a running condition, where we will switch it on and you can see the flow of the material, how it is getting packed. So you can see the heads are first going to be, for example in this one, the material first goes fast, then it will go slow, and then it will finally discharge the material. Coarse, fine, final weight has reached, and now it is discharged. We are running this machine on a slightly slower speed so that you can see the independent functioning. When you run it on the full speed, then all this will not be so clearly visible. So this machine has got some unique features. It is good for packing granular material from 20 grams to 1 kg. The only limitation will be that the 1 kg material should come in a 4-liter volume, which is the volume of the weighing pan. This machine is available in various kind of formats with 1 weighing head, 2 weighing heads, 4 weighing heads, up to 8 weighing heads. Now as we increase the number of weighing heads, the speed of the system increases, and to suit different kind of needs, you can have different heads which can give you a throughput varying from about 2,500 pouches per day to about 18-20,000 packets per day. The speed also depends on the flow characteristics, the net weight and the bulk density of the material that is being packed. Now coming to talk of the applications which can be done in this machine, it has a very wide spectrum. The first category would be the snack food category, where we are packing namkeen, snacks, puffed snacks, chips and popcorn. These kind of items can be packed very easily in India. You sell a lot of these pouches in 5 rupees and 10 rupees format, which can be very easily done in this machine. The second segment is the grocery segment, where you you can do rice, pulses, sugar, tea in various denominations of weight, which are the popular categories are about 500 grams to 1 kg for the rice, sugar and pulses. Tea could be varying from about 20 grams to 1 kg depending on what the customer demands. Another segment, the third one, is the whole spices, where you can pack cinnamon, cumin seeds, cloves and such like material. The fourth category would be pasta, macaroni, then vermicelli. These are the items which can be very easily done. Vermicelli has typical characteristic that it gets entangled with each other, so solutions like cup filler machines cannot be used for packing vermicelli. Pasta and macaroni also have a similar trait. They have a higher particle size and they get entangled with each other. If they're packed in a cup filler, then they tend to break. Another category, the sixth one, is the puffed rice and the murmura, which is very popular in parts of Maharashtra and Bengal, where you puff the rice and it is packed. So if it is good enough for a 4-liter volume, then it can be done. Higher volumes can also be done, depending where we can do some sort of a customization, but for that you'll have to get in touch with us. Another segment, the last one, which is very popularly packed in this machine, is the dry fruit segment, where you pack all sorts of almonds and cashews and walnuts can be done easily in this packing machine. And that's all for now. Thank you so much for being patient and watching this video. If you want to discuss your application, you can contact us directly by clicking on the link below, and you can contact us by phone 95999 19442, by email sales@monkey.in, or you can visit our website www.monkey.in. Thank you.